Agua.
We turn on all these movies and I see a lot of gay Americans, and good for them. And I see tons of African Americans these days, and good for them. Hollywood has finally learned its lesson when it comes to those groups. I see lots of Indian Americans in great roles, and good for them. I'm happy for them. I do not see us. I do not see us. Plain and simple. I do. No, we are Scotty, we're 20% of the population. African Americans are 12. Gay Americans are supposedly 3. Indian Americans are something like 1. And good, again, please don't take this the wrong way. I'm happy for them. I love them. They're my buddies. I'm happy for them. But why them? Why not us? Is it unfair to ask that question?
I think it has a lot to do with conditioning. I say that because I was born in the early 80s, raised in the 80s and the 90s. And for the most part, I am white America. What I got to see as Latinos growing up was Speedy Gonzalez. I got to see Scarface, Carlito's Way, Chiquita Banana, Frito Bandido. These are some of the representations that white America sees. And in our eyes, when we're being shown it, it's not offensive because what do we know? This is funny. It's entertaining.
So you're talking like a white American kid growing up in America.
As a white American, it wasn't until I moved to South Florida and even up in Jersey, when I lived up in Jersey, when I started meeting other cultures and other people and experiencing different things, and not only seeing how these representations affected them, but what it did to my perception, because it made me realize that the perception that's been fed to me, that I see things through, is racist, is wrong. So I say that because if you don't have those, if those things don't change, this is what you grow up and you become a casting director and you cast a Franco as a Castro or somebody like that because
in your head you have Speedy Gonzalez about Latinos. That's what you're saying.
That's it. That's
in his head, we are Speedy Gonzalez and we are the plane
boss. Another great one, yes. And it's a lot more nuanced than that, but really at the back, if you want to give the back of the envelope, that's kind of what it is. That's what it feels.
That's fascinating. And again, by the way, I don't want to be a jerk here.
No.
There's 2 things that you and I have to say in this conversation, which are really important. This movie about Alina Fernandez Revuelta, who is Fidel Castro's daughter, sounds like a great movie. And they have gone out of their way in this movie to cast writers who are Latino, actresses who are Latino. The woman who plays Alina Fernandez is not an Anglo-European. She's a Cuban. She's a Latina. Right. Good for her. The director, Mexican. The writers, I think Honduran Mexican. So they have done everything right. It looks to me, except casting Franco as Fidel Castro, which is because it's such an important and meaningful name. It's sending shockwaves throughout the Latino community. Oh, and by the way, when I just said that almost everybody associated with this movie is Latino, and good for them for doing that, the only people who are not Latino, can you guess who they are?
Besides Franco?
No, the people associated with this movie, yes, besides Franco, who are not Latinos. Guess who they are? If you don't know, just say it. I'll tell you.
I don't know. No idea.
The casting director and the assistant casting director are good old-fashioned Americans.
and that leads to what I was saying.
It could be.
If you think about it.
It could just be a matter of somebody who grew up watching Speedy Gonzalez and said, we're not going to cast a Latino to play this. And that's why we do this podcast. And it's called Rick Sanchez News. And you could find it on Spotify or on Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. And you could tell your friends this now exists. Nobody else is doing this. Nobody else is doing this type of thing. And that's why I want to do this. And if you're listening to us, by the way, on YouTube, por favor, do us a favor, says Scotty Mednick and Rick Sanchez. Subscribe.
Agua.